Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to our online class. You are watching Chaya Ma'am, and today we will be continuing with the story A Gorilla in the Guest Room. So, in the previous video, we have seen that finally Gerrald Durrel convinces Hope and asks him to get him the list of those islanders who are very rich so that he can ask them to contribute the money. Okay, and when Hope says that I don't think this idea will be working out, so he tried to convince Hope regarding this matter. What's wrong in giving a try? Okay, so we have stopped here in the previous video, and today we'll be continuing with our continuation of the story here. And we say that finally Durrell says that it's worth a try, but I wouldn't pin too much faith on their generosity. If I were you, said Hope, anyway, give me half an hour and I'll ring you back. So Hope replies to Durrell saying that there is nothing wrong in trying, it's worth a try. But I wouldn't pin too much faith on their generosity. But I don't think that they will be too, I won't be, pinning means here actually I am not confirming that they will be so generous. And in if I were you, said Hope, if in your place if I would be there, I don't take it for granted that they will be able to give their contribution for this cause. Anyway, give me half an hour and I will ring you back. So Hope says that anyway, give me half an hour and I'll try to find out the numbers of those rich people and I'll be ringing you back. Means I'll call you back. Half an hour later, Hope dictated a list of about 50 people over the telephone while I wrote them down feverishly. Then I looked up the telephone numbers, took a deep breath and started. So after half an hour, Hope called back Durrell and gave him the telephone numbers. Okay, and Durrell took down it in a paper. And this time he got the telephone numbers of nearly about 50 people and he wrote them down feverishly, means very fastly, quickly. Then I looked upon the telephone numbers, took a deep breath. Finally he has got a long list of the telephone numbers, around 50, means it's not a bad number. So he just took a deep breath and he was like staring at those numbers on the paper and like thinking that what he has to communicate and how he has to start. So he says that good morning, Mrs. Mackerel. Now he started, he picked a particular number and he just, made a call. And that call was actually for Mrs. Magruli. Okay. So he said that good morning, Mrs. Magruli. Gerrald Durrel from the zoo here. And he says that it's me, Gerrald Durrel from the zoo here. I'm so sorry to worry you, but we have just been offered a baby gorilla at a very reasonable price, £1,200. Well, yes, but it's not expensive for a gorilla. Well, I was wondering if you would care to purchase a small portion of it, say a leg or something. You would? That's immensely kind of you. Thank you very much indeed. Goodbye. So he said that good morning, Mrs. Mackerel. Gerrald Durrel from the zoo here. I'm Gerrald Durrel and I'm so sorry that I'm becoming a cause to worry for you. But I just want to inform you something that we have just been offered a baby gorilla and it is at a very reasonable price. It's only £1,200. Now, for the rich people, £1,200 is not a big amount. Okay. So he says that's why he says that it's a very reasonable price. Well, yes, but it's not expensive for gorilla. Well, I was wondering if you would care to purchase a small portion. So I was wondering that if you care to purchase a small portion of it, say a leg or something, here doesn't mean that only to purchase a leg of the gorilla. It means that if you care to give a small contribution for one leg, maybe a 100 like £100, okay, or something like that, so that he will be trying to accumulate the money. That would be immensely kind of you. Thank you very much. So finally he was convincing that you would, means as if she might have agreed on the other side, and so he thanks her by telling that that's immensely very kind of you. Goodbye indeed. So by one of his caller, finally, he was having this confident that people will at least little by little they will contribute something, and his first caller turned to be a lucky charm for him that he did not get a negative answer, right? By lunchtime, I had collected 200 pounds. So by lunchtime, he kept on calling, and by lunchtime, he collected approx 200 pounds, and only another 1,000 to go, and the gorilla was mine. Now he has collected only 200 pounds, and yet another 1,000 is there. But see how confidently Durrel takes it, that he says that I had collected 200 pounds and only 1,000 is left. Okay, and then the gorilla will become mine. It was at this point that I discovered the next person on the list. Now, but he did not give up his attempt. He picked out the next number which he can make a call in the list, and that was Major Domo. Okay, so I had never met him, and I had no idea how he would react to the suggestion that he might buy a bit of gorilla. So he don't have any kind of personal meeting or personal knowing of this person, Major Domo. Okay, and he don't know that what type of person he is, whether he is interested in, he will show interest or not. He have no idea regarding that person, but he thought of making a call. Okay, and to my immense relief, the suggestion seemed to amuse him, for he chuckled. And after making a call, he was so surprised that he expected that the person will not contribute or will not actually cooperate, but to his surprise, he got a positive answer there also. How much is it? He asked. Well, 1,200 pounds, I said. And how much have you collected already? 200 pounds. Well, said Major Domo, yet better come along this afternoon and I will find you the balance. So this was his reply. Quite shocking, isn't it? And it's very surprising. So Major Domo said that how much you have collected. So Durrel said only 200 pounds. So how much is left? 1,000 is left. So Domo, without any second thinking, he said that okay, better you would come and meet me this afternoon and I'll give you the balance. Now give you the balance means the whole 1,000 he is ready to pay. So to say I was speechless means nothing, and for Durrel it was quite shocking, surprising, and he had no words what to say. He became totally speechless. And when I had gone to the telephone, I thought there might be a chance of getting 25 pounds. But when he made a call, he hardly expected 25 or 50 pounds from this man. And he never expected that he will be paying the rest of the 1,000 pounds, isn't it? So 100 or maximum 100. Okay. So then he says that I have been beyond the dreams of avarice. His dreams were totally, avarice means out of, imagination. And here was Major Domo handing me a baby. Finally, with only 3 calls, he managed to get the money which he wanted, isn't it? Okay, so and finally the baby gorilla is going to be on a platter means it's a wooden platform. Okay, so to speak, I stammered my thanks. Stammered means he was troubling with the words to say thanks, and slammed down the telephone, kept the telephone immediately because he was so excited. He was so happy. Finally, he succeeded in getting the contribution of the money, and it's finally he can declare and call the dealer to bring the gorilla, isn't it? So, and rushed around the zoo telling everyone of the fact that we are going to have a new baby gorilla. The great day had came and I flew over to London airport to collect finally the Durrels. That day has come when he is supposed to go and meet the dealer, and he flew over to London airport to collect that ape. My one fear was now that when I arrived there, it would turn out to be a chimpanzee after all. But there is only one little bit, confusion or a doubt in his mind that after taking this much effort and going to the London airport, will that be a gorilla or a chimpanzee? The dealer met me and escorted me to a room in the animal shelter of the Royal Society for the Prevention of the Cruelty to Animals. Finally, in the London airport, they had a special place where animals are kept for their safety, and the dealer took him, Gerrald, to that particular room. He threw open the door, and the first thing I saw was a couple of baby chimpanzees. As soon as he opened the door, he saw that what Durrel saw is that there are 2 chimpanzees, baby chimpanzees, sitting on the table, and they are eating bananas, chewing bananas. For a second, Durrel's heart sank, and he had visions of having to go back to Jersey empty-handed. He thought that, oh my God, I have collected money by the contribution, by asking the people. And when they come to see my gorilla, from where I'll be showing the gorilla, here it's not there and it's only the chimpanzees. So he thought like that, that I should go back to Jersey empty handed. But the dealer walked over to a crate in the corner and opened the door, and Pongo walked into my life. Then after that, the dealer went into the corner, and crate means it's a wooden box, or like a cage, okay? And in that corner he opened the door, the dealer opened the door, and from there came out a little baby gorilla named, and that gorilla was already named as Pongo, okay? N is silent here, you have to read it as Pongo. He stood about 18 inches. Now here we have a description about the baby gorilla, how it looked. It stood about 18 inches high and was quite most handsome and healthy looking baby gorilla I had ever seen. Looking a huge grown up and bigger gorilla is something scary, but when you see a small baby gorilla healthy, and it appears to be very very cute, isn't it? Small puppies, kittens, when you see, they are very very cute, but when they grow up, that cuteness is lessened, right? So he stood up about, and he saw that this gorilla, baby gorilla, is about 18 inches having the height, and it is looking very cute, very handsome. And he strolled softly across the room towards me, and then held up his arms to be lifted up. And the gorilla came scrolling down the room, and he came down, and he came near the Durrel. And when it saw the Durrel, it lifted its both hands up. Like small children, they come to their parents and they lift their both hands because they want their parents to take them in their arms. Similarly, like that, the baby gorilla behaved. Okay, I was amazed at how heavy he was for his size, and I soon realized that this was all solid bone and muscle. And when Durrel lifted that baby gorilla into his arms, he felt that this gorilla is very very healthy, okay, and his bones and muscle seems to be very very strong. Means it is nurtured very well, taken care very well, and now it is in a very good condition. And there was not a spare ounce of fat on him, and you don't feel like this is only it has got chubbied with the fat. It's not like that. It's physically, its bones and arms seems to be strong. His light chocolate colored fur was thick and soft, and the fur on the animals used to have the soft fur on their body, and the light chocolate colored fur that is there on the baby gorilla is so thick and so soft. And the skin on his hands, feet and face was soft and glossy as a patent leather. His eyes were small and deep set, twinkling like the chips of gold, and his eyes seems to be like very brightly shining, as if like two small coals are being kept, and they are flashing with the light, they are burning. And he lay back in my arms and studied me carefully with an unwinking stare. The gorilla very comfortably lay back on the arms of the Durrel, and he was just looking at the face of the Durrel, and actually as if he is trying to understand his new master, okay, and lifted a fat and gentle forefinger and investigated my beard. Durrel is having a beard, so he was like running his hands, caressing the beard of the Durrel. I tickled his ribs, and he wriggled about in my arms, giggling hoarsely. So what Durrel did, when you lift a small baby or a child, we often do these things with the children, isn't it? So we lift them in our arms in order to see them smile and laugh, or to see their cute smile. We used to tickle them, and they used to giggle. Okay, they used to make a give a smile with a giggling sound. So same thing is what here Gerrald is doing with the baby gorilla, and the baby gorilla is making a giggling sound, his eyes shining with amusement. And I sat him down on a convenient table and handed him a banana, which he accepted with a little bear-like growing of pleasure. And he finally, after some time, Durrel made that baby gorilla to sit on the table, and he gave him a banana, and with a lot of happiness and pleasure, the baby gorilla accepted it and ate very daintily. Daintily means very enjoying the relishing taste of that banana. And compared to the chimpanzees who were stuffing their mouths, and on the other side the two chimpanzees were also eating banana, but they were like stuffing into their mouth, pushing it, and having it very fastly, but the gorilla, baby gorilla, seems to be eating it slowly with full of mannered and etiquette, like a civilized animal, trained animal. Okay, so and they're full. I wrote out the check, and then after seeing this, Durrell did not wait for a second. He wrote the check and he handed over this check to the dealer, and took the baby gorilla, that is Pongo, and back into the crater. He kept it, and he took that and left the plane to the Jersey. Okay, so this is what today we have seen. That now in the coming video we will be seeing that how Pongo grew up along with the Gerrald Durrel, and how Gerrald Durrel, the real animal lover, took take care of this Pongo in the coming video. Okay, so keep reading. Have a wonderful time. Take care of yourself. Thank you.